for that. We do want.
Hi, thank you very much for watching. My cat is already on my lap. I am in Zoomoji's Twitter space right now. They're having their mint party. I said I would come, and I am cleaning up from last night. What happened is I'm using math very poorly, but I have already created this spiral, and I keep going back to this one in particular. Like this side I think is, oh, no, please, okay, fine. So like the second one I did, the one that is like 48, 49, 50, I think that this curves out better than the other one. It just looks like a better curve. And I think, well, I mean, if you look back, and I'm not expecting anybody to go back, but I actually stopped using this as the blueprint and made it look correct. So I think I'm going to go back and make this look correct too. And like, it's hard to tell you, like, articulate what even happened. And plus in this is what the problem is right here. These should not be in a straight line. And once I fix this here, we can go back and fix the other one. So I'm actually just going back through this spreadsheet, and yesterday I was getting confused about like the heights and everything. So I'm just going to put the file names, and then we can go back and manually adjust what is going on. So that's what we're doing this morning, and I'm going to continue listening in here now.
You can connect with amazing professionals and learn more about that. And yeah, it's really fun. And another thing is, I also love being part of the NFT Kids magazine community. And I love working on the magazines as well, working on the designs for the pages for, the other kids' artworks, to bring them to life, basically. And make it the spotlight. So it's amazing to work with NFT Kids magazine and be part of them. And, it's like we're all friends now.
Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. I promise I haven't paid her to say this. She's speaking from the bottom of her heart. And yes, what you do for the mag, I mean, you've given it the extra touch that we needed. And you also created our logo. That fabulous professional logo that everyone can see right now, Teresa designed. So yes, thank you so much, Teresa, for all that you do for us and the way that you inspire so many kids and adults in the space. So awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love that whole cooperative nature, and that's part of the reasons why we're doing this here today. Is that yes, it is technically our minting party, right? But we do want people who really believe in our project to mint, but we want to highlight these other. I'm sorry, it seems like my dog is having some trouble. We want to highlight these other projects, these other causes. We want to highlight NFT kid artists in the space. We want to, what we're about is all about kids. And I don't know if we should go over that. I will mention that the mint is open, so the current price is 0.007 Ethereum. Before I do talk about that, please do pay attention to that pinned tweet of Teresa's giveaway. This is very fine artwork for someone so young, so please do interact with that. Share it with some friends who might appreciate this artwork. We want to get as much attention to this as possible. So with that said, what is emojis all about? So I should probably introduce myself. I think there's some new faces in the audience. So hello everyone, my name is Dan, and believe it or not, I'm a chemist in real life, and I love my job. And I'm working with my partner, Michelle. She's the voice behind the Bowie B account and really the heart and soul behind the project. She is a geneticist in real life, so we're super nerds, but we wanted to do something different with our PhDs. So we basically went to a bunch of our friends and said, let's build a fun educational brand for kids. But let's do something different. Let's teach real modern science, the stuff that doesn't show up in textbooks for decades sometimes. And then, teach that to kids who are just sort of naturally curious about these sort of things, but then show how we know it to be true. Because in a lab, you have to prove everything every step of the way. So we want to teach kids how to do their own research. That's literally our whole thing, is the Web3 mantra. So we thought that was sort of a perfect fit, and the project started out really simple. We wanted to come up with these adorable characters to sort of convey this new scientific information to kids, via books, games, media for kids. But since we've been in the space, there's so many amazing people that we've met with just really fantastic causes in this space. And one of these groups that we've met is the VoxelX Network. And if you don't know who they are, you probably will soon, because they're about to drop a whole bunch of tools that are really planning on revolutionizing the space. And we really believe in what they're doing. But they provide the tools and expertise necessary to allow us to build out our metaverse goals. And what we wanted to do is build a virtual reality learning environment in the metaverse, complete with its own learn-to-earn mechanic. Because we want to reward kids for being curious. We want to reward them for being engaged and learning and just doing what kids do. And in a virtual reality learning environment, you can do lessons, you can do one-on-one tutoring, you can do an augmented reality experiment in your own home. I mean, you could drop a 3D interactive model of a dinosaur directly on your living room floor. You can zoom out and explore space. You can go to the moon. You can explore the deep oceans, or actually do a dissection without actually getting your hands wet. There's so much we can do with that, but that's still just the beginning. Because we're scientists, that's just where we're going to start. But we want to build a generalized educational platform, also beneficial to kids, but beneficial to anyone who wants to just learn. We want to invite schools. We have all these connections to different schools across the country and even across the ocean. Basically, invite them in, have them provide educational content, and that way we can increase access to education on a global scale, but then also to advance it using these really interesting Web3 tools. And we think that that's something that's totally within reach. We feel like that's a gap that we can fill. And if you like what we're about, give us a like and a follow. I assume you probably already did that since you're here. But if you want to learn more about us, we'd be happy to answer any questions, because this project is developing every day. Every day we become closer to our goal, and every day the project gets more interesting and more fun, especially when we engage with these other great artists, these other great projects in the field, and we want to highlight them too, because that's what this is all about. It's not just about us. We want to highlight these other projects because we feel like it's worth it. We feel like we rise together as a community, and we feel like this is the sort of thing that can connect people and actually serve everyone together. So we want to have a positive social impact, and I think I've said everything that I need to say. But if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. We can go on, we can talk more with Teresa, or we can see if anyone else is ready to talk. I mean, we'll have those posts up there for a while. We want to give people an opportunity to actually participate in these giveaways. We're going to be here for a while. It's probably 12 hours at least is going to be my estimate. And that's fine, because there's people all over the world who are probably sleeping right now, and we're going to be here ready for them. They can come and go as you please. We plan on being just a very relaxed environment. Oh, I will say one last thing. We do want this to be a very kid-friendly space. There's going to be kids also all over the world who we hope to come in. And just to be respectful, if everyone could just keep the language and tones and themes kid-friendly, we would very much appreciate that. So, of course, we can't control anyone, but we would appreciate that effort. Thank you so much for your time. I will, I think, ask my partner what we should do next, or perhaps one of my co-hosts.
Dan, you said it. It's like everything that you're bringing to the space is what is needed. You're about to disrupt and redefine education, especially in Web3. So yes, that's awesome. Thank you so much for.
I'm
we're
just
so happy to
making
connect
this
with you
easier
guys.
for me
And
to read.
Thank you. You introduced us to Voxel Network, and yes, you said it. It takes a community, and you're going about it the right way. you're laying down all the bricks and foundation that are needed. You're bringing in the kids. You're going to educate them like it's never been seen before. So yeah, we're all happy to be here and support the cause and the dream. So because you're about to pour back into us in ways that are unimaginable. So thank you so much, guys.
Cash, do you have a question?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, thank you for the space. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. It's really dope that you guys, I haven't been in any spaces actually who've been doing anything for kids. Maybe it's just because I haven't tapped in like that, but, not even to show or anything like that. Just quickly, we're actually doing things for frontline workers, and we haven't really tapped into, the teachers and the kids and the aspects that this technology can do for these kids out here as well. So if you guys would ever like to connect on anything that we could possibly do in the future, we're definitely on the same vibe where, we want to highlight other projects and we want to, move in that manner that you were just speaking of. So definitely would love to talk. And keep doing what you guys are doing. This is awesome. And you guys are paving the future, with these kids to really understand this technology and really do some amazing things with it. So much love to you guys. And I gotta make my way out. I don't know if you heard that, my dog's in the background acting up too. So much love and appreciation for the space, and I definitely follow the hosts, co-hosts, and everybody up here.
I love to hear that, man. Thank you so much for the kind words. This is also another part of what we're trying to do. We want to connect, absolutely. So definitely reach out. If we don't reach out to us, absolutely. But one of the things we want to reach out is in this way is that Twitter has this funny way of locking people into small groups with their algorithms. And we've met so many great people in the space that we want to interconnect them in one giant space. And we can shake up that Twitter algorithm a bit. We can meet new people in the space, just like now, just like what we did. This is what we're going to do all night. We're going to meet new people. We're going to connect. We're going to make a positive social impact
No, just
together.
37.
And I'm here for it. Thank you so much for coming. I think this
It's
is
weird.
requesting.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
you
get
guys
it
take
back in
care.
a minute. But Cash, thank you so much for coming, and I'm glad you're safe right now. At least the house can get fixed, but the virus is safe, so that's good.
100%. Yeah, we gotta give thanks and shout out to all the frontline workers out there really helping people out in these situations. And looking forward to tapping in with you guys.
Yeah, sure. And I'm planning. We're working on connecting you with the Rockford X network, so it's already in the process.
Hey, sounds good. Much love, everybody.
All right, Dan, I wanted to know, so what milestone have you reached so far? What's your wish for today, and what's next for Jumoji?
Yeah, so right now we have 774 sold or minted. Ideally, we would like to get through phase 1, which is 1,500 sold. At that point, the mint goes into the next phase, where we'll up the price at 0.02. Right now it's at 0.007, which is about $9 US. And we want to provide an easy entry point for people. We want people to come in and see what we're all about, grow with us, and as the project progresses, as these phases go up slightly in price, we won't have the maximum price we intend is 0.04 Ethereum. We hope that that's still reasonable, but we want to have it basically to support our goals and to basically cover the operational costs of the company. We're going to have to operate as a company, and as the company grows, we want people to grow with us.
Amazing. It's going to happen. Yep, you guys are truly, you're breaking barriers, and the barriers that need to be broken, so super awesome. And yes, and tell us more about your partnership with Book Collect. That is truly magical.
Yeah, the Foxel X Network. Boy, they're coming out with a whole bunch of interesting stuff. So there is no financial incentive, which is fantastic. I mean, there's no expectations but they are providing us with a whole bunch of connections, a whole bunch of projects that we haven't, maybe wouldn't have otherwise even connected with. So we're taking it upon ourselves to make those connections. We're trying to interact with people. We want to support them, both financially and socially and morally, I suppose you could say. But we want to support these projects in every way possible. So that's part of what this is all about with the VoxLex network. I mean, hopefully we can get some of these guys up. I don't know if Tim's available today, but man, he is a force of nature.
Yes.
right. Hearing him speak, he's got so much energy. He's got a clear vision of the future. They want to connect all these different aspects of Web3 together using their token, and to give that value. Yeah, it's pretty awesome stuff. To have everything in a single ecosystem that you may need, in a Web3 perspective is fantastic, and we want to try to take advantage of that as much as possible, and and connect people, because it's really about long-term meaningful relationships, and that's what we're all about.
I don't have a question, but I have an observation. I'm trying to keep up with you guys, but I see you guys are just moving at lightning speed and making the collabs with left and right and everywhere. Is it too soon to share, or you will share it later?
To share about a collab? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are collabing every space you're going. So yeah, I mean, I see like a lot of collabs coming out of emojis.
We do have a couple we haven't announced yet, but maybe, I don't know if my partner wants to talk about that. But
It's okay. If it's too soon to share, that's fine. But
yeah, we've got plenty in the pipeline, and we hope to to connect with as many people as possible. Some of y'all will see that today, of course, because you have seen. Oops, sorry, I don't know. Was I on mute? So hopefully you'll see some of the connections that we've made today. That poster, we have NFT prizes from basically everyone on that poster, or that flyer in the first pin post. And these are connections that we've made, and we want to continue these relationships moving forward. So just so my co-hosts know, we have these posts for each giveaway is going to be they're scheduled, so they're going to come up on an automated pace. So you guys won't have to do anything except Twitter picker, and feel free to just reply directly to those posts. It'll make your jobs easier, because there's just so much going on today. We want to make sure everything goes at a steady flowing pace. But there's no specific schedule, just so everyone knows. We're going to go with the flow. This is going to take a while, but hopefully we can get people up, and won't take too much time. What should we move on to next? I see Jack Tuber is here. Should we? I don't know, my co-host who was here first. Jack Tuber is a kid. Is Eden G a kid artist as well? I'm not sure. We can double check with that, but we do want kids to go first.
That's right. Jack Tuber, Eden, and there's other kids in the space. So definitely, guys, if you want to come up at any point and come and explain all the magical things that you do in the space, we are ready to hear it. So yes, Jack Tuber and Eden can connect whenever they're ready.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Welcome.
And I am 7 years old and in 3rd grade. Today, I want to talk about my Night Creeps, which is a collection of creepy cute skeleton creatures. There's 50, and there are 12 left. So get them while we're still here. I just pinned it. We're on OpenSea.io for 0.005 Polygon for Spooktuber.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your art. So what inspires you, Jack? Tell me the whole concept behind your Night Creeps, because that sounds super scary. I love it.
My imagination. And how I did it was it was a collaboration between me and my dad. My dad made some really weird and wacky shapes, and I tried to make them the night creep they are today. Some even have color.
Fabulous. Thank you. That is awesome. And do you want to tell us more about Jack World? Is it Tuber World? The gallery that you did in collab with, I think it was Jay Stansfield and the guys.
Yes. Tuber World is basically a spatial gallery that is a collaboration in between me and Jay Stansfield and 10 other artists that are kids. It's my friends White Unicorn, there's Chloe, and Abstract Jacob Art. And it's just open to the public. So check it out. Jay Stansfield. They made the landscape.
It looks truly amazing.
And I made some of my art on there.
Jack, welcome to the space. It's really amazing to see kids like you, 7-year-old, to jumping in the Web3. It's
No,
really
it's
amazing
not
to see.
this one
Love it.
that is the issue. It is the other one that's the issue.
Wow, Jack. How did you feel when you saw your amazing art, big, larger than life, in the Tuber World gallery? How did that make you feel?
Oh, it felt amazing. And another thing about my art is I have a poster of it in my bedroom.
Awesome. And also, guys, you can find Jack art in our new issue of the magazine. He's doing some fabulous stuff. So, wonderful.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Shout out to
you're so cool.
NFT Kids Mag and Kaden.
Nice. I think it's time we would love to hear from Eden. Eden, who's also featured in a magazine, is a fabulous, fabulous digital artist. And she's done, I think she's created, was it 10 collections already? She's been super busy, super talented, 12-year-old. Eden.
Hi, it's Eden's mom, actually. It's Kali.
Oh, hey, Kali.
Hi. Eden's had a sleepover. She's with her friends and feeling a little bit shy. So I'm going to speak on her behalf, if that's okay.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so I'm going to just pin the tweet.
Yes, please do.
Bear with me.
Oh, and Jack, also pin your tweet to Tuber World, to your VR gallery, if you can.
So, Clara, I'm going to ask if you could pin on my behalf. I have a new phone. I'm not sure how to pin the tweet with my new phone. I'm sorry. If Eden were here, she could do it. So, yes, like I said, I'm Eden's mom. I'm here on her behalf. She's a 12-year-old artist and the creator of the Miscoded collections. Like Clara said, she has 10 collections. She entered the NFT arena in January 2022. Her collections are Miscoded, Miscoded 2, Miscoded 3.0, Miscoded Galentine's Edition, Miscoded for You, Miscoded A Message About Bullying, Miscoded 5 Stars, Miscoded Class of 06, Miscoded Lucky Sevens, and Miscoded Great. The name Miscoded is a play on words, Miss representing the fact that Eden is a girl, and coded representing the fact that, representing the coding that is associated with any form of digital art. Although all of her art is hand-drawn and one-on-ones. Eden has found success in the way of sales, participation in exhibits, including the TEDx Youth Exhibition and Tuber World. She has a wonderfully supportive community, including the NFT Kids Magazine. And Clara, thank you so much. She's participated in collaborations, including the Flower Girls Drawing Inspirations, and she most recently was a Wish grantor in partnership with Make-A-Wish Foundation International and NFT Kids Magazine. Eden is inspired by the world around her and enjoys making art that celebrates female diversity and beauty. Eden's art is based on the premise that representation matters, and the message behind her art is we are all different, we are also the same, and we are all beautiful.
Super amazing. What I've seen from Eden is truly mind-blowing, and it's the different styles. So yes, you can see that her imagination goes really, really far. When did you realize that she had a thing for art?
She's really been drawing, I think, as long as she's been able to pick up a pencil. And then maybe during the pandemic, she discovered digital art. She was home, schooled by Zoom during that time with my mother, and she was using my mother's phone a lot, just creating digital art. And then my father wound up buying her an iPad, and she used Procreate, and the rest has been history.
Amazing. And you being her mom, how do you think, how much does it means to her to do the representation that she puts in her art?
It means a lot to her. So, like I said, her inspiration is the world around her, and the world around us is super diverse, but a lot of times in art we don't see that diversity as it pertains to people of color, as it pertains to women, as it pertains to things that make us unique. You'll see that in her art there's different skin tones, there's different body sizes, and her collection, Miscoded Class of 06, was actually inspired by her and her friend. They were playing a video game, and they had to create some type of, Bitmoji, and neither of them saw their complexions represented. And so her friend said, why don't you draw something that looks like us? Her friend is Japanese and white, and Eden is a black young lady. And so she created images that look like both of them.
That is very innovative and needed in this space. So she's not waiting to see more representation, she's doing it herself. And the fact that at her age, she's only 12 and she can already see that far is truly amazing. You must be very proud, Mom.
Yes, my husband and I are very proud of Eden.
Yes,
and
what's
her grandparents.
Of course. What's next for her? What's in the pipeline for Eden? What would you like to do? And what's her wildest dream also within this space?
Yeah. I don't even know if she has a wildest dream right now. She just really loves to create. And so I think just being able to create and show her art. We're looking forward to, working with you and NFT Kids Magazine. So we're just open, I think as long as she creates. In this, bear market, I think people have been discouraged, although she doesn't know anything about a bear market. She's just really creating. And so I think it's important that she just create, and the opportunities will be, available to her.
Yes, I've been saying to the parents, whatever happens in the market, it doesn't apply to the kids. We have to keep building no matter what. Being in this space at this stage, because it's still new. Only God, like the meta gods, only know what is around the corner. So we just have to hang in there and just make sure that we are present as much as we can. So well done. And also, I have said to Michelle and Dan to reach out to you because Eden has to be one of the Dumoji's youth ambassadors. That has to happen. She's too talented.
We would love that. Thank you so much.
It's fantastic. Loving all of this so far. Making new connections every day, all the time. And just to remind everyone, please interact with those tweets pinned at the top. We have a giveaway for Teresa Melvin's artwork, 2 pieces of her artwork. So please follow those instructions. Follow people follow the necessary people. So before we do the giveaway, we're going to do that pretty soon. Interact with Eden's post. We want to get more eyes on this artwork. Representation in the space is important. You know, especially seeing people who look, or characters who look like you growing up is extremely important. You know, Jack Tuber's work, please interact with those tweets. This is important. These are kids in the space that we want to, you know, make sure that their work is seen. So please interact with those pinned tweets. We'll do the giveaway as sometime soon. I don't know if my co-hosts want to do that at some point, whenever we're ready to do so. Let's see. Should we move on to? Let's see.
I think.
In just a moment. Okay, Jesus.
I think it's late for Lenny. We could let Lenny go first, and then I'll bring up his giveaway. Lenny, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Okay, I'll bring up your pinned tweet right now.
Okay, so while we get that up there on the Jumbotron, Lenny, please feel free to tell us all about Samukis, the amazing work that you guys are doing, and basically tell us what's so important about these NFTs that we're going to give out. Is that right?
All right. So, hi everyone. Samuki is a very interesting project actually, where different projects collaborated and created Samuki. Samuki is an RPG game on blockchain. We launched a collectible where we hit about 7,200 mints. Then we freeze it. The NFT gives you access towards the game, and currently we launched additional weapons towards your characters. Each NFT is game ready NFT. We hitting about over 1,600 mints right now. So please check Samuki profile. You have a link tree over there with all the official links. Samuki RPG is frozen, but you can mint the weapons right now. And the huge benefit what we're doing for the community is that, first of all, we're minting for 0.001, and we already launched the game. So if you go on samuki.vip, you can already play the game. We also launched additional 2 games just for fun for the community as a gift. Again, it's on the website, samuki.vip. And every NFT what you buy can be staked for additional rewards actually, and the staking just approximately 2-3 days back got launched as well. So we kind of crashing the roadmap what we had for this year, and we launching everything a few months in advance. And because the team is absolutely amazing, we have amazing developers who are branded as AI actually, but you never know, maybe they are real, maybe they are not. But we developing on daily basis, and Samuki is just the first place basically in the metaverse what we're developing as well. So you will have much more than, we are kind of gaming environment, so you will have more games actually coming in the near future. And yeah, that's what Samuki is about. So if you are interested, please go. It's only about $1 to mint the NFT, $1.50, and support the ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for describing all about Samuki. We do have that pinned, a tweet pinned to the top. We are giving away 2 Samuki NFTs. So if you want to follow the instructions, you know, your standard like, retweet, tag 3 friends. Make sure to follow the people on the list, and that's it. You can get 2 free Samuki NFTs. I will also say that if you go to the Samuki website, they do have a couple of games you can play for free without actually having to install anything. You can play it directly from the browser. They have this runner game, a fair game, and I will say that the runner game, at least for me, is extremely addictive. Don't start playing it unless you have a few free hours, because it is really addictive. So absolutely check them out. Please interact with that tweet. We do want to give a new home to these NFTs for people who really will appreciate them. And, you know, Samuki is a VoxelX partner, and, you know, we believe in what they're doing, and together, I think we're going to do some great things.
100%. I'm definitely more excited now about your project over here. And yes, we are VoxelX partner as well. Voxel's doing brilliant work actually for the all Web3 ecosystem. I do apologize in advance. I will have to leave the space in about 4 or 5 minutes because we do have actually Samuki space starting in a few minutes. So really apologize for that, but thank you for the space to talk over here. And yeah, check the Samuki link tree. Samuki is a little below on the spaces over here, and join our Discord. You can talk over there, talk with the Ninja Warriors, and yeah, a really amazing group of people. And I will join the spaces in the future over here. Thank you very much for the space. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much for coming. All right. So it's fine if you head out now. We know you got places to go, things to do. And we will take care of sending out those NFTs to whoever wins them. Make sure they get a nice home. So that's fantastic. Make sure, please interact with that tweet. We want to make sure that that gets attention. And let's see. Do we want to do a giveaway for Teresa's NFTs? What do you think, my gracious co-hosts?
Sure. Do you think they had enough time, or should we kind of give it like a few minutes more?
Oh, I trust your judgment.
Well, I think we could give it another 10 minutes, and then we'll do the giveaway for Teresa, and then we'll do Samuki's. But I think we could give her another 10 minutes.
Yeah, but while I bought everyone the time, it is for if you didn't have a chance to like retweet and share with some friends, follow all the rules that are in the giveaway, and also like retweet the space and invite somebody so we can get more eyes on your project and help each other. That's how this system works. Sorry, Michelle, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh, no worries. I was trying to make sure I have all the pinned posts together, so whoever comes on stage, we could just pin it up quickly. Because I realized scheduling it is not the best way because it just pops up whenever it wants. I was like, oh my, never mind.
Well, that's all right. So we do have a number of people on the list. I believe amongst the invited speakers, I think Amy was first and then Orbis. Although I don't know if we wanted to, there were a couple of other people who were already on the stage. I think CCP might have been here the first. So if our hosts want to, if you're paying more attention than me, please help me out with the order on that.
Out of everyone that was here, I think CCP is not ready yet. We can take a minute unless you are CCP. Eden, are you ready?
No, I'm not here to shell or anything. I'm just saying, yeah, I'm gonna talk about X emojis. I'm not here to discuss CCP and all of this. It's not child rated yet, so I think, yeah. But no, I'm fascinated actually about what's happening over here. A lot of people have been trying stuff for, like, I'm not gonna say personal gain or gaming in general or whatever is happening right now with the NFT spaces. These people actually is developing something for, I would call it a lost cause within Web3. So what I've seen, and I literally seen a lot, over 40 projects developed from our studio, metaverses and collections and contracts and token and everything. It's the first time that I've seen someone with a successful IRL track record that just bringing the knowledge to Web3, and I really appreciate what's happening over here. Something might happen in the future, I'm sure, but it's definitely different. It's different. Don't laugh, I'll say everything. You know, I'm just, yeah, I have a loose tongue. Okay, so you want me to spill it?
Yeah, man, I think you're too humble and you keep too much to yourself. There's so much cool stuff that you could be spilling. Feel free, man, spill it.
Okay, so between Xemojis and CCPs, we are developing a metaverse, a real metaverse, a proper metaverse that actually the kids can just leave the Xbox behind or even use the Xmojis metaverse to have a proper learning experience. So still having fun, learning stuff, go into the lab, blow some stuff up, and have a blast, and still gain a knowledge, gain an experience, gain. You never know. You might even play to earn. Learn to earn. And it's totally changing the characteristic of what's happening in Web3 and Metaverse. It's just rehoming every single aspect out of Web3 to our kids, to our youth. And it's crucial because once they are introduced to it, I've seen a lot of people doing their best, but I think it's not yet enough because I don't know how to say it, but basically it should be treated like we treat games. It should be treated like we treat racing. It should be treated like we treat the play to earn. It doesn't make it less of an opportunity for everyone to jump on board because it's the future of our youth. So we definitely starting to develop a metaverse from CCP Studios here in Dubai. It's gonna be something totally different, fully realistic aspect. So colleges, streets, games, labs. Yeah, we talked about a lot in the back end, and still you will be able to bring on board IRL colleges, school. When COVID hits, I think 99% of the education system already went to Zoom and a lot of online communication applications, but still to have it in 3D, to have it as a virtual experience with VR, of course, because it's already 3D assets, it's gonna change everything. So that's the goal with Xmojis Metaverse. Should be starting very soon. And yeah, that's basically it. And I have extreme respect for this brand, and I see it growing, and I wish the best for it.
Thank you, CCB. You're too kind. Too kind. And he doesn't want to talk about his project, but he has an amazing project as well. And it's a project we believe in. It's a team we believe in. So we picked up a couple of CCPs. We are going to be doing a giveaway. We'll probably do it a little bit later since he's so shy with his own project. He doesn't want to share with us his project. It's already completely built out metaverse. I can't do it justice, but the NFTs are taken directly from the fully drawn out, and they're taken directly from the metaverse itself. So basically, they're completely metaverse ready. They're completely game ready. Everything's ready to go. He just needs people to sign up, basically. So he has a fully developed product that he doesn't want to talk about for some reason. So
No. It's literally no. It's not just about the project today. I see a bigger cause, something that need to be supported. I think it's much bigger than CCP or any project out here, with all due respect. It's for the youth, so it deserves all of the spotlights, that's all.
Okay, I get it. I understand. I try to joke because sometimes I feel like you don't give enough information, but we can definitely talk more about emojis. For example, where the inspiration came from. I mean, you really hit it right on the head, right? With COVID, that was actually our inspiration. COVID, we couldn't work, and no one could. Everyone was affected in some way, shape, or form. But as scientists, we were hit maybe in a different way, because all we want to do is find out what is true. And then we saw, not only were we woefully underprepared for remote education, but we saw a complete outright denial of obvious facts. And that didn't sit well with us. This is something that we felt that we could do something about. And the more time we spent in this space, the more we realized we could have a positive impact on a global scale. If we just work together, there's so much we can do with a fully expansive, interactive 3D metaverse, our own educational metaverse. There's so much we can do with that. We have all these connections with all these schools, and I know that they would jump at the chance if we did all the work for them. Basically, they come in and have all these 3D interactive educational tools. We provide that for them. We be the middleman for them. And it takes the infrastructure completely out of their hands. And there's still so much we can do with this. Everything I described is just the beginning. I mean, imagine being able to open up a black hole directly in front of you and actually see it consume a star and actually move it in 3D, actually explore the physics of this and actually what happens. I mean, there's so much you can do. I mean, of course, I'm always thinking about the science aspects of this, but there's so much you can do. I mean, and you don't have to be limited to reality, right? You can do whatever you want in a fully expensive metaverse. And when you're thinking about education, there's no limits, right? We talk about, how volcanoes work, right? But you could actually jump inside one in a metaverse and actually see how they work. You can see how plate tectonics works. It's in ways that we couldn't do in real life. And that's some of the possibilities that we want to explore with CCP. And he's going to help us out, build out these fully immersive experience, this educational experience to teach kids and to get them engaged and to keep them learning because they're naturally curious. And we don't want them to lose that sense of awe, that sense of natural curiosity, because there's a good chance they'll never get it back. You should be curious. And we want to harvest that. We want to harness that and basically nurture it as best we can. And that's really what Zoomojis is all about. And I mean, there's so much more to this. I can already describe it all. I could actually change the subject slightly, talk a little bit about the inspiration behind the artwork, because sometimes I forget to mention. One of the reasons I mentioned that Michelle is the heart and soul behind the project is because every single Zumoji is actually based on my partner Michelle's face. And it's funny to say out loud, but she has a very expressive face. If you ever see her in person, hopefully we all get to meet in real life. But you'll see for yourself, she's got a very expressive face. So I love to mess with Michelle as often as I can. So I will joke around with her, and sometimes she doesn't realize I'm messing with her. But basically what I was doing, I was messing around, acting stupid, just because, and then she realizes that I'm messing with her, and she gives me the best face. I love it so much. So I couldn't help myself. I had to draw it. So I was drawing a little sketchbook, and then she didn't realize I was doing it, and I would draw it on a computer, and I drew all these features, all these traits based on her facial expressions. But we wanted to make something that resonates with kids, something that relates to kids. So we thought well-defined facial expressions were a good way to go. So we simplified our models as much as we can, but still made it look like a face. And what we got looked a lot like an emoji. And so then we built upward from there. So we got as simple as we could, and we thought, kids could resonate with animals, right? What kids don't love animals? So we drafted out a few different animals. We didn't want to stick with just one, and Michelle turned to me and said, "This is looking a lot like a zoo." So that's where the name came from. So not only was she is literally a part of every Zoomoji, but she came up with the name, and she's behind the social media aspect of it. She's making all the connections more than anybody. And she about it. Without even, I think my headset's having trouble. But when we came up with emojis, we wanted to have something that's easier to brand. So we changed the Z to an X, and we never looked back. And that's where we are. That's where Zoomojis came from. That's the inspiration, and that's how we came to be as a brand as we are now. Hopefully that clarifies to some people what we're all about. And let's see, I should stop here. I think CCC had a hand up. Sorry, did you guys want to say something?
Hey, Dave, are you here?
Yeah, Dave had his hand up. Dave, are you here?
Might have gotten a call, as he's always busy.
Whilst it's connecting, oh, I'm hearing myself. Whilst it's connecting, Dan, I wanted to know something, because when I look at the artwork, the Exumoji's artwork, I'm thinking, you know, you're a pro graphic designer, you've been doing this all your life. I wanted to know more about the creative process.
Sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble with my headset right now. But you wanted to know about the artwork process?
Yeah.
So, sure. It took longer than I care to admit. This is why I say I'm not an artist. I do technically have art training. I did go to an art high school, or a high school of art design in New York City. And although, unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of the digital artwork software. It was around, Photoshop was around, AutoCAD was around, but we never had it in my school, unfortunately. So a lot of it I had to teach myself. I did all the artwork in Photoshop, and I wanted the artwork to be as simple as possible and then build upwards from there. So the facial expressions I sort of drafted up, I put into a circle, and that's why in the end it looked a lot like an emoji. And hopefully I can actually reach out and find some of the actual first emoji. The actual first emoji. It makes me laugh every time, because it was the prototype for every emoji. So once we got to that point where we had some facial expression traits, almost all the traits are based around facial expressions, because you wanted it to resonate with kids of all ages, you know, as even with very, very young children, you know, it's facial expressions that they interact with most and recognize most. So we wanted to focus on that a lot. So we had, you know, different eye colors and eye shapes and mouth, mouth positions. And once we had that, we built upward from there. We played around with, I think one of the first animals I made was a lion. And we came up with all alliterative names for each character. So, you know, we came up with an addax, which is actually, it's not a goat. It looks like a goat, but it's an endangered species in the Sahara. So, Alex the addax is the one with horns. You know, Lux the lion, Bao the bear. So we keep, alliteration is also very important for young children. It helps them remember and actually helps them keep engaged. So all of our characters have alliterative names, like Zoe the zebra, Mika the monkey, Cody the cow, you know, and we just built one character at a time. And then I sort of went back and forth and said, whenever I would look at Michelle, because she was my inspiration behind every facial expression. So I would go back after the fact and add more facial expression traits, add more color schemes. There's a lot of different color variations. But the colors we started out with what's basically found in nature. So, you know, most lions are sort of like a beige or light brown. So that's a normal, natural color. But then, so the more exotic the color, the rarer the traits. So we sort of used nature as our inspiration for trait rarity. So the colors that you won't see in nature at all, we put as the highest rarity. So the Bao the bear, you know, we have the panda bear, which is black and white, which you'll find is pretty common in our collection. But we also have like a glowing blue bear, which you'll never see. So it's more rare in our particular collection. But we have, for example, amber colored eyes are natural in humans, right? But heterochromia, which is the concept of having two different color eyes, that occurs naturally. And although it's about, I think, 2% of the population, maybe less. So that is reflected also in our collection. So we have the two different colored eyes. The heterochromatic eyes are a pretty particular rare trait in our collection. We also do have, I'm not sure if anyone has minted them yet, but we have a few traits that are actually derived from NASA images or European Space Agency images. So we have like galaxy eyes or nebula eyes, and those are some of the rarest of traits. We do have a number of other things. We wanted to basically not deviate too far from them being animals. You know, we give them clothing or anything like that, but we have a few things like glasses and necklaces. The necklaces are pretty nerdy references, like a rocket ship or a DNA strand. You know, things like that. So those are pretty rare as well. Although there are 500 total in the collection, which have a completely different head because their heads are so perfectly round. We basically just swapped it out with other very round objects like a basketball or a moon or something like that. And we thought it's sort of a funny, goofy addition because a lot of these characters are sort of goofy, and we wanted them to be adorable and have kids like them, and hopefully you guys like them too, because they're sort of special to us.
Nice. And the 500 collection is based on 9 animals. Are you hoping to maybe one day crossbreed them, or what's the plan?
That's a good question. We didn't have any intentions of doing that just yet. It may be something in the future. I don't know if you would get some sort of chimera if you fuse the lion with the zebra. But I mean, it's something we could explore, but it's not something that's in the plan right now.
Awesome.
Wow.
Definitely go mint those emojis if you can, because right now it's like what I think is $9 worth each. Because right now it's at 0.007. Because after we reach 1,500 sold, we're gonna increase the price to 0.02 ETH, and I think that's 20 something ish bucks. I think I can't even do the math.
Yes, go mint everyone in this space right now. Go and check out their minting page, and they have some super cool utilities. Do you want to tell us about the customized books and the chipped t-shirts collection that you've got coming? The microchip t-shirt.
Sure, yeah, we should actually pin some of that to the top. So where the project originally started was we wanted basically to make books for kids and to link that with digital media that would be related. So we wanted to make books basically on what we studied in lab, the sort of new, cool, interesting questions we were trying to answer. So we wanted to give the ability for NFT holders to basically submit a name and a photo, and in that way they could have some special child in their life directly imprinted into the book itself, and they would get basically a one-of-one book where it's their child in the story. They could literally see themselves in the story, and we thought that would be a special way of sort of increasing engagement and basically keeping kids interested. And we had this interesting idea of using NFC chips. So I am posting a 15-second video of how that works. We have a very simplified example. We wanted to put these in basically all of our in-real-life products. So in books, in shirts, so there's 2 pinned posts at the top where basically you just hover a digital device, and we all have digital devices now, and it'll take you directly to related media. Online. If it's your NFT on a shirt, for example, you could have it query our website with, blockchain and token and contract address, and it'll tell you all about the NFT, and basically bring up not only the image, but it could tell you who owns it, the rarity, the traits, and all sorts of interesting things involving the NFT. And that's something that when we developed, because it shouldn't be terribly difficult to put together, we wanted to make that available as a package for other NFT projects to basically for them to add value to their products. And we think that that's a cool way of adding utility. So that's how we planned on seamlessly integrating in real life objects with digital media and digital ownership. And so that's one of the early things that we wanted to do before we started focusing more on the metaverse aspects. So the metaverse component, we do want to have a sort of self-sustaining model. It will have to be a business. And since we're in what we want to do is to provide abilities to set up tutoring sessions or one-on-one teaching, instructional interactions. That will require someone's time, and time is money, right? So we want to be able to make sure that those people get paid. So something like that would require some sort of paid subscription, and the NFTs would play some role in that way, basically act as one type of subscription. So it would be effectively cheaper to own the NFTs, and we want to integrate that into the entire learning aspect, and not only into the in real life aspect of being able to get books and in real life objects, but actually facilitating learning. We want to be able to have that evolved in the metaverse. But as part of the deal for inviting all these educational institutions and even tutoring companies. Basically, we want to have them provide, at the very least, some educational content for free, because the whole point is to increase access to education. We don't want to have a walled garden of educational content. We want to be able to provide some of that material for free. People should have access to quality education, but when it comes to more interactive components where other people are involved, one-on-one interactions, tutoring and such, that will require some sort of subscription. So we're planning that out into exactly how that would work. But the NFTs, we hope to integrate into every aspect of the project. There's a lot to it, but hopefully that answers some of the questions. We did also want the NFT itself to act as like a coupon, basically, a sort of digital voucher where you get discounted merchandise. So the more you own, the more you get off in terms of merchandise. And if you have a certain amount, or over a certain amount, you can get a free item, and for every certain amount of time. And I think that's most of it. I'm sure there's more to it, but the NFTs are integrated in basically everything.
I also have a question then for you, of emojis. You always talk about children, educating children, but I know that's what you like to call your team. You're all nerds together. Are you actually going to do education more in depth for high school kids or universities? Is that a plan in the future? Well,
yeah, well, absolutely. We want to actually try to tackle all of these subjects at the same time. So the members of my team, who you guys haven't met, but they're all on their website, we're all doxed. They all have different specialties in different fields. We want them to basically start writing educational content for young children. That's what we had agreed on. If they want to start making content for older kids, high school and above, we could always talk about that. But what we were thinking of doing is inviting, schools, institutions, schools, colleges and such, basically invite them in, and that way they could provide educational content for older kids and adults. So while we work out on our team sort of the younger kid aspect, we're also going to be working together to bring in all these other educational institutions in order to cover the older students. Hopefully that will cover all the bases. We want everyone of all ages to be able to come and get a quality education. I mean, I see this being an educational space for basically anything. If you want to learn how to repair an engine, I want to be able to put a digital representation of an engine in front of you and take it apart with your bare hands to be able to actually explore the engine itself. I mean, you want to learn how to build a table? We can do that. We can make a 3D model and actually build that in 3D. And there's so much we can do with this. And we want to make sure that we cover educational aspects
this is 60.
of all ages. And we also want to cover all possible subjects. There's really no limits when we come to the metaverse, and that's what we're trying to tackle.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I really like that into the future for sure. I will definitely hook you up with somebody else. They already have, I think, some agreements with universities as well, and they're based in Australia. So maybe that opens a different venue for the Xemojis as well. And they have a paid subscription behind it, and that's the Web2 is paying it. So that will bring value for your holders as well. I will do that in the back end. I will have a contact with you.
Sounds great. I love it.
Nice. And you mentioned tutoring. Is that how you wanted to also work with NFT kids? Because I think that's what you had planned with Teresa. It would be nice to find out how you would like to work with your youth ambassadors.
Yes. Sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble with my headset. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I had to switch headsets. Yes. So Teresa is heavily focused on education, and what she wanted to do was she had plans on basically teaching other folks on how to use digital art software and how to do certain art techniques. And I'm sure there's more to it and more that she could teach, but that's something that could provide value to everyone. I mean, imagine going to an art school where you're taught by NFT kid artists in the space. there's all sorts of techniques that you can learn. You can have this one-on-one interaction, and maybe there could even be some pre-recorded media that you could watch in the metaverse. In that way, it wouldn't require a subscription, something like that. But you could have that one-on-one tutoring interaction in the metaverse, and that's something that we absolutely want to provide. We want to provide kids in the space who have something to offer, a space to not only showcase their art, but how that art was made, how to pass that on to other people who are curious that may not know, and absolutely want to work with you in terms of educating folks. I mean, I know the NFT space is a lot of artists, right? So there's lots of opportunities for teaching people how to get into doing that and how to work with digital media. But there's also other aspects, right? I mean, there's even kids who are learning how to code, and how to write a smart contract, and how to basically how to build upward from here, and how to make Web3 a better place. And they will have a functional knowledge of how that works on a base level. And that's something that I wish I had. And that's something that these kids can provide to other people. We want to provide the space where that can happen, where people who have a certain set of knowledge can provide that to someone else who's seeking that knowledge. And that's something that we really do want to highlight and want to work with you guys to the fullest possible extent. Because this isn't just about us. I mean, we're looking to basically democratize education, and there's no limit. I'm super psyched.
And Teresa will have her own little room where she can show people how to use Procreate. So she'll be the instructor for that room for little kid artists or other artists that want to be in the space. So we do have a room that we're planning that is going to be dedicated to Teresa. So she could just teach in there however she want to teach and show kids and other artists how to use Procreate and other art tools.
Okay, guys, I did the winners for Teresa, also for Sumuki. For Teresa, the winners are Forced in Muse, and I didn't check if they're in the space. I can check that right now real quick. Forced. They're not in the space. And the second winner, the reason I'm laughing, is Bowie Michelle. So
you could just redo my draw. Just do it for the people that's in the room and that retweeted Teresa's post, because one of them I already own. I own one of them. I was gonna give it out from my collection.
I'll redraw it since the other winner's not here either. Thank you. But I do have Smokey winners. The Smokey winners are, let me see, I pinned it up there. Have to move the pins.
I see it.
Yeah, it's Jack Huber and Loner Babby.
Okay, I will send both of these to people a DM, and then I'll get their ETH address, and then I'll send them their NFTs right away.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Also, Queen, can you please match up? I think Xmoji is minted 2 CCP. Can you match it with?
Yeah, please. Let's keep it in the DMs, then I can. Or
I already sent in the DM. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the next pin that's coming up is gonna be yours, Moby. Your CCP collection. I am giving out 2 that I brought from your collection to anyone in the audience. So you are gonna have to talk about your project.
Cancel.
Cancel it? Why cancel it?
No, sincerely, it's just it feels just right to focus today on Xemojis. That's all. It's the right thing to do.
Okay, I'll cancel it. I'll keep it to myself.
I will talk, and that's why what's his name? That's why Dave does what he does. That's why Dave got it. So CCP have to jump out and correct him. So I'll do such a terrible job that CCP is gonna have to jump in and correct me. So I'll start it, but maybe someone else can go ahead of me since I'm doing the draw right now. and I can be next after that.
I think there's a better way, Queen. Well, CCP can talk about his project a little bit and what he's building for Sumochis and a lot of other projects and his own project. Else we start throwing flowers at you, and then it's up to you, CCP, what you want.
Sure. So, yeah. Crypto Club Punks is... Oh, let me introduce myself first. Sorry, where's my manners? My name is Mubarak. You can call me Moby. I'm 50 years old, from Dubai, UAE. Have been working in the VFX with a decent track record, I think for 30 years now. End of 2020, a friend approached us for creating an NFT collection for them. We didn't know back then what is NFTs. We did create them. A friend brought another friend, and so on and so forth. I think right now we achieved 40 different NFT projects and metaverses and collections, contract, tokens, you name it. Eventually, some of the projects were doing good, some of them are not so good, so we decided to create CCP. CCP is short for Crypto Club Punk, not the Chinese Communist Party, just, I don't know, we didn't do enough studies, I think, but yeah. The collection itself, we created everything from the start, like metaverse, rigging, element, assets, in-game scenario, in-game ecosystem, tokens, careers, like literally everything from the start. And then we pitched some of the brands out there. We got succeeded with Adidas Original, Mazda and Huawei. They already signed up with us as partnership for in metaverse shops. The unique thing is with Crypto Club Punk's metaverse that each land plot have 24 different wallet hubs. Each wallet hub can contain IRL business available in the metaverse. So for example, if you sell cars, you can have a dealership that people can have actual experience seeing everything in 3D, and they can pay in the metaverse. Clothes, food, even guns, whatever you can think of. Anything that available in IRL, you can buy it within the metaverse. Of course, there is a certain limit to it. There is community standards after all. But yeah, the whole collection is 8,888 with wallet hubs, again, for the land plots, vehicles, experiences, virtual careers, auctions, events, concerts, definitely art galleries. It's built on Unreal Engine 5.3 as only a rendering gaming engine. It's not the main metaverse. The main metaverse is open source. We're gonna release for everyone to use it. We're gonna call it The Gate. The Gate actually is amazing because it's around a year of research and development done by our studio. So basically, if you own a low poly avatar, you can convert it into the right poly count to other metaverse and vice versa. So it's gonna breach a lot of gaps for a lot of people, and it's gonna be open source, free for everyone to use. The main goal of Crypto Club Punks is just create, I'm not gonna say passive income or play to earn, because in some countries that's against the law, but it's basically a whole ecosystem to benefit every single holder. And we already collaborated with, I'll not say already, but yeah, we had a lot of talk in the back end with Dan and Xemojis to create something extremely similar to Xemojis, out of the love for the cause and the passion that this man have for the cause of education. It's learn to earn, which is, I don't think it doesn't get any better than this. Me as a grandfather, I see my kids, their kids, like I attended a couple of generations, It's always been tough to make education fun and intuitive, and it's just hard to make a kid look at a book or something. So by incorporating this at the hype of Web3 and the trending of the metaverse and all of this, I'm sure they can, instead of playing Fortnite or whatever on the Xbox, we can create a couple of versions to make it mobile and on Xbox and PCs and every single platform out there, to be able to, as he said earlier, see what happened in the volcano. So create a mission, for example, to exactly knows what happened to trigger a volcano, or go into the lab, attend a couple of experiments, and I'm sure 100%, like with no doubt, zero doubt, that this is gonna be a big deal, just because it's weird that we are willing to pay millions and millions of dollars to develop games, but we are not we are not thinking enough to develop such concepts with bigger benefits and bigger goals in the future. So I'm definitely on board with this, because it's the right thing to do. Of course, sound cheesy, but it's the right thing to do, literally. And if you had the opportunity to do the right thing and you didn't, then you have something wrong with you. That's it. So yeah, we definitely hitting the gas on this one. We're going forward for CCP mode, and with the right guidelines, the right branding, the right community standards, and I see already Xmojis as a brand in the future. Yeah, I'm sure everyone can benefit from it. So hope everyone have a lovely day, and I'm a terrible sheller, so thank you for bearing up with me.
Thank you so much, sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. And you're not a terrible chiller. Project is very complex because it's packed with the rewards for the holders, and it is fully funded and fully built and fully built, ready to be launched. So yeah, there is a lot to there. Thank you. Sorry, Dan, I didn't mean to put you off.
No, I just said he's being too humble. No, I thought that was great. I thought that was a great explanation and how it all ties together. And we're working together for the common good. You know, we do have to be a self-sustaining business, yes, but we can have noble goals. We can expand access to education, you know, on a global scale. We can do a learn to earn. You know, we can reward kids for just being kids, and you know, they can do what they want and make fun, interactive ways of learning. You can do that. And, you know, they don't have to be exclusively in the metaverse, but I mean, if they have that option, I mean, think about it. Think about the people you've met in this space. You know, I've met people in Malaysia, you know, from Nigeria, you know, all over the world, in China, and it goes on and on. It's some people exclusively get online via their phones. I mean, if we can make this accessible in such a way where you can just get on a phone, you know, I want to learn this, and you are provided with a straightforward way of doing that, isn't that life-changing? Doesn't that change the life of someone who doesn't have access to quality education wherever they are? I mean, it could be something small. It could be, you know, how to do X or how to do Y. It could be small tasks, or it could be entire courses, entire programs. You know, how do you begin to be an engineer? What's the beginning of robotics? You know, these are things that we could explore and actually show in a 3D way and make it accessible on a grand scale. And we want to do that. We can do that, and we will do that. And I think that it's so exciting and it's so fun, and we do it together. We're going to be doing this together, basically democratizing education. I mean, no one should be restricted from being able to learn. You know, there's so much you can learn, even from a phone. We can make that possible, and we absolutely plan on doing that. And I'm honestly just glad you guys can hear me, because I am on my third headset. They keep failing on me for some reason. So I'm glad to be here with you guys as I'm scrambling around looking for a working headset. So with that thought,
Did we find? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh, we're gonna let Orbis go first because they're gonna have to go to bed. It's late for them. So Orbis 86, do you want to talk about your project a little bit? They are also Voxel partners.
Yes, thank you so much. It's I'm kind of sleepy, but I'm really enjoying this conversation, and I love that this space is kid friendly. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Charlene, and I've been working with Orbis for about a month now. So, this is my first Twitter space as well, but I am totally enjoying it. And kudos to Jack and Eden, who, spoke earlier. I mean, Eden's mom, of course, and all the other young minds in the space. I also love the initiative to educate children about Web3, the metaverse, and NFTs, because honestly speaking, I am still trying to get to grips with it all. And I'm new in the NFT space, especially the lingo that goes around. And diving into Eden's project especially caught my attention because it's all about diversity. And that is something we stand for too at Orbis 86. Wendy is our director of the community and growth, who is a Latina. Cynthia is leading our impact arm, who is a beautiful Black woman. Sonia Ahuja is our founder, who is a brown lady like myself. And that is why we call ourselves as Women of Color-led project. And we are also doxed. I'm also excited to talk about Orbis 86 and the recent Sigma drop we had on the 29th of last month, that is September. It's our Sigma mint that we dropped, where we dropped 25 Orbisons. We will handpick and make a curated list for about 25 of our token holders, as they will also be members in the future DAO, which is like an extension to the core team. So before I go into the details of that, I just wanted to say we are having a giveaway, which is 25 USDC to one person in the space. I'm gonna try and pin it up here. So while I do that, I want to go on and speak about the collection itself because it excites me as a person. I'm all the way from India, and the collection is focused on diversity and inclusion, of course. So each NFT avatar is unique. It has a different body, structure, type, and the holders will be able to set the sexual gender and identity, sexual and gender identity of their avatar, which I think is very cool. And to go on about it, the project features a 3D NFT avatar collection, which is 8,686 unique 3D NFT humanoid characters. So they're stored as ERC-721A tokens living on the Ethereum blockchain. And we, of course, are a team of 20 plus people across the continents. Some of them are in the US, rather, Canada, Nigeria, but majority from India. And it's about 10 p.m. here, and that is why you can hear me talking at this point. So we collect information through a form where we review it and then give the Sigma ambassador role. For people who don't really get on the allow list at this point for the Sigma role, we will be considering them for our main drop, which will happen in October or November. Get on that list. To speak about the collection, I think I can personally connect with it, and I think it's something that everybody who wants to mint it can do the same. It's something that you can resonate with in the world today, and the utilities that come into play are also something that's unique, I would say. For example, each minted 3D Orbison will come with 3 components, a 2D PNG PFP, the full body 3D Blender file, a 22-second unique music wave file clip, and the NFT will also come with a piece of music specifically created for that avatar. The 3D Blender file can be customized and taken into the other 3D metaverses. Token holders will have access to animation kits that will show them, how to animate and customize their 3D models using Blender, which is an open source software. And of course, the token holders will be able to add backstories to the characters, which through community voting will become the backstories of corresponding characters in the upcoming animation series. In addition to that, token holders will also have non-exclusive commercial rights for all the components of the NFT. So they can basically use their characters to create their own NFT collection or gift one of the components to someone who they want to help on board. And I think I kind of missed out on the price, which is the Sigma drop is priced at 0.35 ETH. So if I'm getting some of the lingo wrong, please forgive me because I'm still in the process of learning all this. So yeah, I mean, I am pretty excited about the project, the drop, and I have been working on it for a month now, which is, and the team is beautiful because everyone works together and we're just all so diverse coming together. What they say about unity and diversity is so true. And also the whole, initiative, like I mentioned earlier, about educating kids today who got to learn about the Web3, the metaverse, and the NFTs is beautiful. I really love everything that's happening that way in the world today. It's progressing so fast. And you guys can also, I think, the giveaway is up there. So go ahead, try your luck because the winners will be announced after the space ends. So yeah, that's all from Orbis 86.
That's great. I'm having trouble with my microphone again. No, that's fantastic. Yes, the DAO, the Sigma holders. That is a different level of their NFTs. We are a Sigma holder, and it's a lot more to it. It's almost impossible to go through everything that's involved in one short little pitch. But there is also the lower tier of their NFTs where they provide, not only just an image, it's the entire 3D model, but also show you how to actually use it and animate it and edit it, and even possibility of making your own collection with it. Those are actually really interesting utilities that we think are very cool. And if you go check out these models, they've put so much detail, so much work into these 3D models. They're absolutely worth checking out. Orbis 86, and I mean, at the very least, go interact with that tweet. You can win some free USDC. Why not, right? So give them a follow. They're absolutely worth following. Increasing diversity in the space. That's what we're all about. This is one of the reasons why we resonated really well with them. Our team is also from all over the place. We're a pretty very diverse team, and a mixed gender team as well. And we really appreciate the representation or any efforts toward representation because it matters. Especially with children, you need to grow up seeing people and characters like yourself. It has a major psychological impact that shouldn't be understated. It's really important work, and we absolutely support it. So thank you, Orbis 86, for coming. Everyone, please go up and interact with that tweet. Get some free cash. Because why not? And absolutely follow them. Where should we go from here? Let's see. Should we talk a little bit more about our work? We might have some new people in the space. I don't know. What do you guys think, my co-hosts?
Oh gosh, Dave had come up and he left the game, so been having a hard time connecting. I thought it was a perfect time that he was up here, but Caden's been here and his hand up always makes me think that he's raising the hand.
It's the one PFP where you don't have to raise a hand, right? It's iconic hands is always up. So, yeah, if Nico's available, absolutely. You want to tell us all about Caden's artwork? We have two of Caden's art pieces up for sale, up for giveaway. We acquired them a left hand and a right hand, so you had the whole set. It's right there. And we love Caden's little hands. They've become really iconic in the space. And I mean, we support these projects that help kids in a real, tangible way. And I mean, we feel like it's a story that needs to be told. I mean, if nothing else, Nico deserves the Father of the Year award. If nothing else, he has been grinding in the space. Everyone probably recognizes Nico and Caden's work. And if Nico's available, we would absolutely love to hear more about the deeper meaning behind these pieces and why they matter. Nico, if you're available, go right ahead.
It is a snoozing hour for them, I think, for their time zone, so he might have just silently retired.
Uh-oh. Not sure if Nico is available or if he can hear us. We could move on to someone else. What do you think, Queen?
Yes, we can. I didn't see the tweet up there for them either for the giveaway. So maybe Michelle will put it up there later and we'll leave it for a minute. Let's see. Art. Art inspired? Were you next or?
I mean, I could be.
Okay. It was between crypto and NFT radio or art inspired, so we can just.
Let's do art inspired first, so I could post her pinned tweet right now.
Sounds good.
Hey, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you so much for it being my turn. I am really tired. I would like to take a nap, so I appreciate that. I also appreciate you organizing this Zoomojis. And I wish you good luck with your minting party today. I hope that you get a ton of sales. So those, if you don't know me, my name is Amy, and I'm a developer that creates a custom metaverse every month, and it is based off of the themes of banned books. And for me, this came about, well, it was a dream. I had read about the mouse books being banned, and I went to bed and I dreamed that I bought this domain and I started this project. But it's really about me being angry about the restriction of access to these thoughts and ideas, and the lack of people wanting us to talk about these issues. That, like, not every idea is like great, but maybe we should be able to talk about it and explore why it's not a bad idea, or why it is a bad idea, or like why it is like that, or like in history this is what it was like at the time, and you know, here's what's happened afterwards. Like, just giving people like the scope and the context. And what this has turned out to be is I give the book, and I have the themes that got the book banned, and I showcase artists for free, NFT artists for the most part. And so this is a really, like, it's an interactive, immersive experience that's unlike any other metaverse at the moment. And it gives a very safe space for having, just like using the art to have these conversations. And so, like, for me, this is very important. And when I was creating this project, it was about how can I do as much good in the world as possible. So I'm showcasing artists for free, which is helping them. But then for the gallery opening, because we open once per month, we make it into a fundraiser. So by having your work shown in my gallery, we're also doing real world good. And every month we choose a new charity that is related to the book themes. And in this way, because there's just so much wrong with the world that I couldn't just pick one charity to stick with forever. If we can just focus every month on trying to help a charity and go over these topics, and then, you know, then move on, I think it's helpful for people to be able to focus on specific issues at a specific time. So I'm currently accepting artwork for the Grimm's Fairy Tales, which will be opening on October 15th. It's hosted on bandbooks.art. tickets range from $1 to $125. And yeah, I'm hoping to be able to expand this into having like student scholarships, but that's something that will be happening in 2023. So please stay tuned. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you want to participate. I am really thrilled to be able to include as many people as I can as possible.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, we're working on getting the tweet for the giveaway pinned to the top. So this is an important topic. You know, this is one of the reasons why it resonated really well with us. We're about education, and whether people get unhappy with by having access to certain books should be irrelevant. We should have access to these books, and they should make you feel emotions, whether they be positive or negative. We should be able to have access to these books. And honestly, I mean, think about historically, anyone who bans books is probably not looked upon very fondly as being on the right side of history. Books shouldn't be banned. You should always have access to these materials, and you know, this is something that we support, and anything that puts light on this, we will support. And Amy, honestly, if you want to work together in our future educational metaverse, maybe we can build like an unburnable library of Alexandria in the metaverse. You know, we could do that, and that's something that we would absolutely support. So we could make a universal banned book, repository, some sort of place where people can go and read all of these things that would otherwise be restricted. We would absolutely support that. So it's something that we could always talk about later, because we are trying to build this generalized educational platform, and that would fit in, I think, quite nicely. So please, folks, interact with that tweet at the top. Give it a like, give it a retweet, tag some friends, follow those people on in the instructions. Follow these projects. They're really important, and you can get yourself a free Bigfoot NFT. We did get 2 of them, but we were struggling if we should give away the second one, because I really like the second one. It's this really cool black and gold swirling pattern, and we fell in love with it. So I don't think we can give it away, but we are giving away one of them. So absolutely support this project, support Amy, and hey, you can get a free NFT. Who doesn't love Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, so the Bigfoot thing is a collaboration between me and Brett, and that black and gold one actually has a very special story. My second job, they have a platform called Text to Image, and that was one of the first prompts that I put into their platform. And it's actually the first NFT from that platform that's ever been sold. So, congratulations.
I love it. I feel less bad about keeping it all to myself. It's really cool. I mean, maybe I should switch my PFP to it or something so people can take a look at it. But I don't know. If you have anything else to say about it, or if anyone has any questions for Amy, please feel free to ask. Let's see. Crypto NFT Radio, did you have a question for Amy, perhaps?
No, I don't have a question. I just put my hand when I want to talk before her.
All right. Queen, should we move on to the next person? What do you think?
Yes, sounds good. I'm familiar with the banned books, and I think what you said is very vital, that they need to be accessible, and like the emotions it awakens the emotion, and which is the right thing, whether it's negative or positive. That's how we know we have something, because if something triggers there, that means we need to deal with that.
I noticed that Caden came back up. I know it's also getting late there, I think, so...
We have a reaction from Caden. Let's go. I mean from Nikos, but yeah.
Yeah, Nico is here. Caden is currently getting ready for bed. Sorry, you guys have caught us between bath time, dinner time, and bedtime, so it was a bit of a run around here. But yes, Nico is here. I'm Caden's dad. Caden is an amazing little 7-year-old who's got autism, and that is his superpower. And my son is obsessed with art and all its shapes and forms. And if I mean he's obsessed, he lives and breathes art. This is what gets my kid out of bed in the mornings. Unlike most kids today, Caden he's never formed any bond with any electronic device. He doesn't care about a television, a phone, or even the internet. He just wants to know he can get up in the mornings and he can paint and create and take little breaks in between and play with his Legos. Since the last time we've spoken, we have actually reached a massive milestone in our project. Caden is officially back in school since this week, Monday, and that was the whole point of this project. That is what we worked incredibly hard towards the last 24 weeks, and now it's onward to the next 6 months. I've not seen my kid this happy in a very... That is what we worked incredibly hard towards the last 24 weeks, and now it's onward to the next 6 months. I've not seen my kid this happy in a very, very long time.
I need to stop holding my phone in my hand. It's why my wrist hurts.
And he's ready to go. So yeah,
It's just so much easier when you're trying to pin things. I'm gonna come back later. I'm gonna go into Mandox's space.
Of like I can only imagine how much better you're going to be at digital stuff in the next few years of you, like, you know, working at it and learning more tricks and stuff like that to bring your creativity out into the digital medium. You know what I mean?
I need to take a nap.
It's just amazing, man. You do such a great job. Like, yeah, my heart goes out to you. Like, there's no words that I could say to really just send my love and my prayers and just, dude, like, everybody, please, like, just, if you can, definitely help Kenji out in some way or another, even if that's a like, a retweet, a follow, all that stuff really helps. Keep up the good work, man. Keep being positive. I know it's hard, especially when you feel like you lose everything. But man, like, stay in touch if you ever need anything or just want to talk or something. My DMs are always open. And please keep coming back in here and sharing, man, because I really do feel like there's a lot of people that, you know, would love to purchase a piece of your artwork because it's amazing. But then knowing that it actually goes to helping you and helping the kids in the home and all that stuff. I mean, it's just incredible, man. I love what you're doing. You know, this is why I feel like NFTs are so amazing too. Is like people like you come in and, you know, you're going through stuff that's out of your control, but
my cat has her tail on the
using
keyboard.
your talent to,
Pair
you know, make our
programming.
lives better by bringing such amazing artwork and then benefiting your
Licking my
life. And I
hands.
really do feel like people will support this. It's amazing. I love all your collections. I really do. So I'm excited to see the new one. But thanks, Kenji. We appreciate you, man. Keep your head up. Kimmy, you have anything to say?
I always have something to say. Hey,
I want to hear it.
Kenji, I'm sorry that all the trials that you're going through right now. Wish we were closer, that we could just come over there and help you. But I love your art. I was looking at it the whole time you were talking. It's so clean and so creative, and I just love looking at all of it. It's just a little twist of reality, and it's gorgeous. Keep it up, and keep. You know that we love you, and we're sending our prayers to you.
Thank you guys so much. You know, Create and Kayla, thank you so much. Really. Yeah, I just want to give before I forget about it. Actually, one of the big people that helped me in my life is my girlfriend. You know, I've been with her in the children's home ever since I was 11. We're still together today. Hoping one day we get married. But yeah, a lot of the help came from her because, you know, having her by my side, same time she's an architect, she just fed me with all this like knowledge and then like what I have to do. And she pretty much helped me with everything because, you know, if you look at my grayscale matter, it's sort of a little bit dark, I know.
I've explained it to some people before. That's because of like the area that I'm in, and it's sort of Tim Burton is my hero. So a lot of my art comes from that, showing me and guiding me everything, and plus because of her love for everything cute and kawaii. So like the bubblegum style colors comes from her, and also the music that you hear from the animations, that's all her, man. Because on the side, like she does music and then she plays music, and right now she has this also awesome opportunity to work with one of the production companies in Japan. So I'm very, very happy for that, and for her just to be being there for me, and her family as well for taking me in and my time with me. So, and also to give a shout out to the wonderful community that's always been here for me, you know, not just the NFT community, but like the arts community here in Baguio. And as well as, of course, now the NFT community, everybody that I've met so far has just been really awesome, really kind, humble, supportive, just giving love. So I'm just very thankful for everybody. And for those, you know, take me as an example for if ever you're going through something hard. Man, I lost my home. This is actually not the first time, but this is the worst time. This is the third time that something bad like this happened, but this is the only time that really I can't do it alone anymore. I really need to ask help from her, who need to reach out for help to everybody. And at the same time, I lost the thing that I love doing most. You know, I lost my pieces. And that hurts. You lost your home, and then you lost the thing, or at least the materials that you need to do the things that you love doing, which is art. I have a tablet, sure, but for me as a traditional artist, me losing that key factor of me not being able to continue that really breaks my heart. So yeah, I did have a time of, well, technically I broke down, you know, I really curled up in the ground and just it's cried. But you know, you gotta do it, you gotta let it out. But like an hour or two later, you know, I just like summed the strength, like, you know, I'm good, I let everything out. That's a normal process, let it out. You won't like get over it in the next few days. Sometimes it takes us a while, but you have to keep moving forward, man. You gotta keep finding a plan A, plan B, plan C, keep pushing forward, because life will throw so many things at you, and the number one thing that it wants you to do is to give up, which is the thing that you should never do. So, you know, cry it out, you know, vent it out in any way that you can, and then just get back up. You don't have to run right away, but just take that first step and just keep moving forward. And you will be able to reach, or I'm not going to say reach for the moon because it seems a little bit, you know, off to me, but you will reach success or greatness that is meant for you, as long as you never give up and keep moving forward. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I love you all. Thank you so much for all the love and support.
Absolutely, brother. And I'm thankful for your girlfriend. I'm thankful that you shared that part. You know, tell her thank you from us. I think that's amazing, man, to have that special somebody in your life to, you know, whether that's a girlfriend, a friend, it doesn't matter, but having somebody to stick by your side and to help and encourage you. There's nothing wrong with your grayscale collection and, like, you know, drawing darker stuff or whatever, you know, like, I think that's a part of you, especially when it, you know, I can't remember the name you said, but, you know, following in the people that you admire and people that you look up to, you know, but I'm thankful for her pushing you to, you know, have a variety of stuff and branching out and growing yourself in a sense, you know, like you never know what you're capable of if you stick to just one thing. So I think it's amazing when artists, you know, I you know, with my music production and stuff like that, like I have a few genres that I like and I stick to, but at the same time I always encourage myself to try to make something different, make something that you never thought you'd make before, and you'd be surprised, like, you know, you learn things along the way, and, you know, it teaches you for stuff that you can implement back in your other type of music, or, you know, so I think it's cool that she's pushing you to grow and to do things that are, you know, maybe something you wouldn't have thought of in the first place, and I like it, man. I really enjoy the artwork that, you know, she's pushed you to create, And again, man, like, I'm serious. I would love to have you design a tattoo for me one day. Yeah, I mean, you're just so talented, man. So keep up the good work, Kenji. Thank you again, dude, just for opening up and being honest. And thank you for being inspiring and encouraging to people. I mean, like you said, like, use you as an example. You know, I could sit here and say that I go through this and been through this and whatever, but the main thing is that no matter what we all go through is to keep moving forward, keep taking those baby steps if you have to, like, you know, keep moving, man. That's important. It's so important. And everybody needs to let it out once in a while when stuff happens, but, you know, don't just stay in that hole. Like, get up and keep working towards getting out or moving forward in another direction. So keep up the good work, Kenji. Appreciate you. Definitely tell your girlfriend thank you from us for being there for you, for one, and pushing you to new creativity and to new places, man. It's awesome. All right, guys, we're going to keep it moving here. We got Baffles up next.
Hey.
Hey, what? What'd I do?
I want to introduce you guys to one of my favorite people. I have a few, but he's one of them, and it's Baffles.
Baffles, you got your own special introduction.
Oh, and he's not even paying attention.
No, I'm here. I was waiting for you to actually let me talk.
Oh, what? Did you want to talk?
Yeah. No, I wanted to come in. I don't have NFTs to showcase or anything, but I wanted to let you and Travis know y'all are doing a great job on this. I open up this space and I see all my friends in here. DeFi was in here. I see she just stepped out. Cheryl's down there from, you know, the Bollocks family. I guess John B, even though he took my win last night, like, I'll acknowledge him. What I did want to say is DeFi Gravity, I wanted to step up here and kind of sponsor her. The Untunables is fantastic. I'm going to share my two favorite that got airdropped to me. She understates the give back to the community. She really goes above and beyond with giving to her supporters. I had collected a handful of her Gravity diamonds, and I loved them. And then she gave out for free to all her diamond holders the Gravity glitches. And the glitches were really cool. But then these Untunables come out, and we got airdropped those too, like 1-to-1 what you own. She gives you another one of the next collection for each one you own. And then she's doing Matic reward giveaways on top of that. None of this has a roadmap or anything. It's literally just to collect the art and then benefit as a holder, right? So, like, I can't support somebody like that enough. I can't say good enough words for her. You know what I mean? I think this is what this space, this Mandocs Create is all about, right? We're all here supporting these unrecognized artists. And the best way, if you don't like the art yourself or if you don't have the money to buy, the best thing you can do to help people is share it, right? As a YouTuber, I know getting word of mouth, right? We have to get people to our art, to our medium, whatever it is. And specifically with NFTs, because the market is so saturated,
I need to actually even pop in.
Telling people what you like and what you don't like, it weighs on future investors, on other collectors, right? You have that power in your hand to help spread somebody's art, to help, you know, with like Kenji and AJ, you know, to help them out with hardships they're going through. You have that power. And I love this space for that. And I just wanted to come up and give you two shout outs. I really wanted to shout out DeFi while she was still here. And I guess I'm going to give John a little more shit. Took my NFT pump.
Hey, Baffles. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out. Baffles really supports artists and making sure that they have their art saved, or not, like it's copyrighted to the artist, and that they're not giving money to middlemen. And he's really starting to dig into that side of it with movies and stuff like that. So he has a show that he's talking to these new people who are in the movie industry but are going more like Web3. So maybe, Baffles, you could talk a little bit about that, because I just think it's just amazing, and that you're bringing that to light.
Yeah, so my YouTube already covered NFTs pretty much exclusively, right? I don't talk about tokens. It's not my thing. There's plenty of YouTubers who do that. And then I stumbled onto the hashtag Film3. That really hit a chord with me because I'm a big movie fan, right? Like, this is a passion of mine. I had a wall full of DVDs when DVDs were a thing. Right now, everything's moved over to the cloud, streaming it. Film3 is really cool because these independent films can now produce their films, even more efficiently on the blockchain, even if the film itself is not stored on the blockchain, like the NFTs to fundraise and to give holders benefits within the film. Like maybe just one that I have an NFT for that I'm going to be in the credits, and I think I'm going to have a character in there named after me in the movie. So, it's things like that are going on. So I've started kind of redirecting my NFT focus specifically to films on the blockchain. I've done 3 interviews so far, and I'm lining up more with distribution platforms and with other film projects themselves. I'm really loving this new angle. And if you like films, if you like, movies of any kind, right, and you like blockchain, I think you're going to get some enjoyment out of the interviews I do. Last Saturday, I did one with Jordan Bain. She was on CSI and Silk Stockings. She was an actress, and now she's reshifted and she's a director, and she's making independent films. And she is basically the godmother of Film3, of the hashtag. Like, she created it 19 months ago, and they are just pushing it so hard. And I really want to support these kinds of artists, right? Like, when you look at the NFT artists in this room, right, y'all are all basically independent artists, or independent filmmakers, you know what I mean, but in your own medium. That's what I'm doing with the film side, and I'm having a blast doing it.
That's awesome, man. That is the future right there. I'm really excited. Not even just for film, for musicians, for photographers, for artists. Web3 is going to provide that, taking the middleman out and them being able to be their own person and manage their own funds and all that kind of stuff, man. So I think that's super cool what you're doing. And but really quick, I just want to go backwards a little bit, Baffles. I want to use you as an example, man. I think it's amazing that you came up here to bring some more focus back on DeFi. What's her name? DeFi what? My brain.
DeFi Gravity.
There we go. DeFi Gravity. I think when a person who's behind the project or behind their artwork and whatnot comes up and speaks for themselves, it means a lot, and it definitely catches people's attention. But something that I always commend and really appreciate is when people like you, Baffles, comes up and talks about somebody else's project and somebody else's artwork from your point of view. I think that speaks more volumes to people. When people hear somebody else going out of their way and putting their name behind somebody and a project, I think that just has more authenticity to it, I guess you could say, or just really, it just means that somebody else besides the artist, like, somebody creating something, it's easy for them to say how much they're passionate about it and this and that and like why they like it or whatever. But when you have somebody who's just a part of the community and somebody who just...
I don't think I even presented in there, but I'm tired. So I'm going to get off this stream. I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm going to go back into a different stream and stuff. Space. I think I'm supposed to go to one at 2 p.m. So I'm going to take a 45-minute nap. Hopefully. Maybe a little bit less, like a power nap here on the couch, because Megway is still sleeping on me. So... no chance of me going to bed and getting a proper nap in, but I'm tired. So, what's a virtual camera? I'm in the studio mode. Whatever, it's fine. If you're rewatching this, or if you're watching this, thank you. I'm actually really happy with the progress we've done today. I'm gonna start. I was doing screenshots, but I'm gonna pick either the front or the back. It doesn't matter. I think maybe the front, and get that done. And with the spreadsheet, it was a lot easier. If you noticed, I just copied and pasted it, and then I have two 15s there. That's weird. Okay. It's whatever. It happens a little bit every once in a while. And then once we're done with that, I think we're gonna tackle the four corners. The fifth corner, we've done that, and they don't have to be parallel. I think this one we're gonna keep it with the small, and then like big ones on either side, and surround it that way, like just like a bunch of small ones in the space, and then we'll figure something out over here. But at least we don't have to obey rules of gravity or anything really. And then yeah, so just two more of those, and then we will tackle the center piece here. So I think I want it to look like, well, it didn't, none of this wound up looking like what I planned it to, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong or it looks bad. But I want to experiment with the bubbles, like weaving in and out, and like swirling, but we'll see how all of this turns out, like maybe like a braided effect or something. But yeah, we'll spend a little bit more time because it would be nice. Like, do we just put like a big one here? Or do we just put a big one in the sky? Do we just have a couple of things that are not in bubbles and just kind of in the open? These are questions that we're going to ask ourselves. But I kind of like everything being in a bubble. And, well, I think what we're going to do in here is have 4 images that the bottom start here, and then they're at a 45-degree angle, so they, like, as you look up here, like, you can see the piece, and well, you can see the piece and the background. So yeah, like I said before, I'm tired. I will see you later.